Our next contest, ladies and gentlemen, is a 147-pound Elite Division title contender bout. Our first individual making his way to the blue corner, here is Melquan Cisco.
We got our first championship fight of the night. This should be exciting.
Here we go. Now, the 6 Borough Championships. This is something started by Christian Vasquez. He had been thinking about what to do. We've all been involved in boxing. And with the death of the Golden Gloves around 2017, Christian said, what can I do? So he created the 6 Borough Championships. We're talking about Staten Island, New York City, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. Where's number 6? He turned Long Island into a borough. That's okay. That's okay. Join the rest of them. Hey, Long Island's got a population of over 7 million. Well, bring them on. So he has taken some of the finest athletes, boxers in each one of those boroughs and matched them up for the championship. And this is the one place. Once you win a championship, you can't hold on to it. Within 4 or 5 months, you got to defend it. And many of these champions won their title back in January. And here we are, defending it for the first time. And this next one's going to be 147-pound Elite. This is an SBC, a 6 Borough Championships title eliminator, meaning there's no title here. The winner will get to fight for the title their next time out. The fighters are ready. Matt Compitello. Magnificent. Matt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest takes place in the 147-pound Elite Division. It is brought to you by our sponsor, Cloud9. Go to the Cloud9 booth, check out their products, CBD and more. Cloud9. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner, representing Williamsburg Boxing, ladies and gentlemen, Melquan Cisco.
Melquan Cisco.
And his opponent, boxing out of the red corner, representing El Maestro Boxing Club, ladies and gentlemen, Malachi Thomas.
Malachi Thomas, boxing out of Native Boxing, El Maestro Boxing. A lot of gyms represented here today. Malachi Thomas out of El Maestro Boxing, and Melquan Cisco out of Williamsburg Boxing.
Right now we're having a little delay. They're switching headgears because in the Elite Division you have to use the open face headgear. You can now wear cheek protectors. So they're just switching headgears around real quick.
Which do you like better?
Fighting in the amateurs, I always loved the open face headgear. You know, I could see a lot better.
Yeah.
It was just better to breathe, and you could just see the punches coming a little bit better.
In sparring, I think the cheek protectors, that little kind of piece underneath the eye, easily, I see it all the time. Guys headbutt in the gym accidentally.
Yes, and in sparring, definitely. You definitely want to wear those cheek protectors. You know, big, nice headgear. But in the fight, you know, in the amateur, I've always loved the open face headgear. You know, and it also gets you ready for the pros, you know.
Right. For those who are going to go into the pros. Both guys young. Cisco, 20 years old. Malachi Thomas, he is 23. And Malachi Thomas, a little bit taller, 5'8" to 5'7".
And we got two southpaws. Well, we got a southpaw who's a righty, and we have a southpaw. So it should be very interesting because Malachi Thomas is a lefty turned into a righty. So that means that jab is going to be very strong.
Yeah, so for those who were watching this and say, wait a minute, what do you mean a right hand turn southpaw? What are we talking about here?
So, for example, you know, I'm a natural righty, but I fight lefty. So that means my jab hand is my right hand. So that's my strong hand. You know, so that's what we're going to see with Malachi Thomas right now.
And it's funny, my partner on Sirius XM, Jerry Cooney, is a left-hander, but he never boxes a southpaw. He boxes a right-hander, so his left jab would tear you up.
That's what we're probably going to see from Malachi Thomas. You know, he's a natural righty, and he's fighting lefty. But that was a good 1-2 right down the middle. You know, it's strange when you see two lefties fighting against each other. You don't see that too often.
Malachi Thomas told me that I asked him, do you have any hobbies? He said, yeah, boxing. He said, I eat it, drink it, sleep it. I'm in the gym all the time. He said, right after I finish up 2023, I am turning pro.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, you know, being young, being dedicated. You know, whatever you put into this boxing game is what you're going to get out. So that's a beautiful thing.
How we looking tonight, boys? How's everything looking? Guys, competitive?
Great fights. First two fights were amazing. We know we got third fight.
Danny.
Love him. Straight right hand, very strong. Love him. I actually saw who he was fighting. I was like, oh, Harvey, I remember him from last. He's very slick. So it's going to be a good fight. But Torres is just too strong. You know, he kept the pressure, and he dominated the fight all 3 rounds.
I'm glad. I believe him.
My partner, Jose Guzman, talking to promoter Christian Vasquez, asking Christian, how do you see that last fight? Because Daniel Torres was
his fighter, yeah.
He works out of his gym. So people going, what's he talking about? That's what you're talking about.
Right now we got two lefties fighting against each other. How often do you see lefties fighting against each other?
Not too often. But it's basically the same thing as two righties. It's when you get a lefty against a righty that you almost have to worry about a lot of headbutts and guys stepping on each other's feet all the time.
You know, it's funny because I was a lefty, you know, and it was weird when I would fight another lefty because I'm so used to fighting a right-hand fighter. When you fight another lefty, it's like, oh, I got to do everything backwards now.
Right.
Ooh, beautiful left hand from Malachi. Malachi Thomas just sent his opponent's mouthpiece across the ring with a great left hand. What do you think about that, Kamish? These guys, you know, they don't bite down on their mouth guards.
Some guys, unfortunately, don't have the best mouthpieces in the world. If you're going to be in a sport like boxing, the mouthpiece, to me, and there it goes again.
Oh, again. He's opened up his mouth.
I got to tell you something. I think the mouthpiece is much more important, let's say, than the cup. And the cup is important, don't get me wrong.
100%. But the mouthpiece, you don't want to hurt your jaw. You don't want to get your teeth knocked out.
And very rarely do you see a mouthpiece get knocked out twice.
Now, that's beautiful work from Malachi Thomas. He's just letting his hands go in combination. You know, now I'm thinking, is Melquan Cisco just dropping his mouth guards because he's frustrated?
First time I ever saw the referee give the crowd a come on.
Yeah, he actually almost fell. The rope saved him. I do have to give the round to Malachi Thomas. He did the better work. That was a beautiful round from Malachi Thomas. I would tell him to just, you know, keep letting your hands go in combination. It keeps working for him. Now, I'm looking at the blue corner right now, and Cisco looks a little frustrated. He doesn't look like he wants to be in there.
Round number 2, scheduled for 3. This one between Malachi Thomas out of El Maestro Boxing and Melquan Cisco Williamsburg Boxing.
You know, Kamish, I always tell my fighters, you know, to keep a poker face on in fights. Don't show no emotion. And from Cisco, you're seeing his face. He's just giving you a face like he's defeated already.
The crowd actually still buzzing from that first fight of the night. 2-minute rounds at 139-pound elite, which was won by Samuel Cisco over Steve Mojica. What an opening fight that one was.
Oh, beautiful. And here goes the mouthpiece again.
Whoops.
Again, look. Every time he throws a punch, he opens his mouth. Every time he punches, he opens his mouth. I really don't think Cisco wants to be in there. He looks frustrated, and his face just looks defeated already. And he actually has a little cookie on his eye right now, over his left eye.
And you know, when he threw that shot, I believe it was a right uppercut. Normally, you bite down when you're throwing a punch. You don't open your mouth when you throw. You bite down.
You know, one thing that I see Malachi Thomas has is a great right hook, and that goes again. He's a righty turning into a lefty, so he has his right hand in the front, and so that's his jab hand. So every time he throws that right hook, is really a right hand.
Melquan Cisco has an amateur record of 8-1. Malachi Thomas has an amateur record of 15-3.
For me, body language, body language tells you a lot. And right now, Cisco just looks defeated. Mouth is open.
You're right. What do you think is going on at this point? It's not like he's gotten rocked with big shots, but he's not landing the punches I think that he really is trying to land. Do you think that's frustrating him?
One thing that I've been seeing is like we said, Malachi Thomas is really a righty, but he has that right hand in the front as a lefty. So every time Thomas lands that big right hook, it lands, and it's landing hard. As you can see, Cisco has a little cookie above his eye, and I think that's probably what's got him frustrated.
And that was about a 4-punch combination that just didn't go anywhere by Cisco, and he did, after he missed a right hand in close, he kind of rolled his eyes as if to say, I can't believe I didn't hit the guy with the right hand right in front of me. So again, we go down to the third and final round with apparently and quite unofficially, but I think we're pretty much on the mark with this, where one guy is considerably down and needs not just a 10-9 round, but needs a stoppage here.
100%. I think what's coming into play in this fight is basically Malachi Thomas has more elite fights than Cisco. So he definitely has the experience, and I think that's what's paying off in this fight. It's definitely the experience. There we go, that right hook again. See, every single time that right hook he keeps catching him.
Again, these guys are welterweights, 147-pound.
Oh,
elite.
Beautiful.
The winner of this fight in his next fight will get to fight for the SBC Championship. I like what I'm seeing here from Malachi Thomas, whose favorite fighter, by the way, just might be the pound-for-pound best around bantamweight champion who has moved up undefeated Japanese fighter Naoya Inoue.
The monster.
You got it.
Monster.
Is he amazing or what?
Man, I've never seen somebody in those weight classes just hit you and you're done.
Well,
you're done.
Malachi, usually guys don't say something like anyway. But he said, no, I'm a boxing historian, and I got to tell you, I know the fighters out there. I want to be like Inoue.
It's crazy because, you know, not a lot of Americans will say, I want to be I want to be like Inoue. Usually you will hear, I want to be Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Sugar Shane Mosley. That's how you know Inoue is definitely a star.
Yep. He has won titles at 108, jumped over 112 to win 115, won at 118. Now he's heading up in his next fight later this summer to 122.
What do you think about that fight?
Love it. Could be a fight of the year. Him and Stephen Fulton.
Woo! Woo! And that's definitely a special talent.
Cisco trying to push the issue on the inside because from the outside he has no clue how to land a shot.
Both fighters are definitely a little bit gassed. Cisco just came back.
He missed, I think, with the right hand, landed a hard left hand.
Definitely, Cisco is letting his hands go a little bit more. I think this is his best round of the fight.
Melquan Cisco against Malachi Thomas. Malachi Thomas in the red headgear. On both of our unofficial scorecards, has won the first 2 rounds of the fight.
You know, when Cisco lets his hands go, he does good work.
He's having a much better round.
See, there we go. Oh, he hurt him.
Hurt him.
Beautiful.
Malachi is hurt.
It ain't over till it's over.
Wow.
That, if he would have done that since the first round, we would have had a totally different fight. That was definitely I gave that round to Cisco for sure.
Now, I will tell you this, if this was the pros and that was a knockdown or even a state that would have had a standing 8 count, which none of them do, that would be a 2-point round. In the amateurs, it's a 1-point round.
If this was the pros, you had one more round left. It would have been this was the pros. They would have one
probably
more round.
A 2-point.
Yeah.
It's counted as a knockdown, but there is no standing 8 count.
Exactly. That was a great fight. I would like to see more from Cisco.
I gotta tell you, Malachi still looks a little bit woozy.
Yes. No.
Okay. I got it 29, 28. For Malachi Thomas.
I have it exactly the same.
Do you think there is any chance this is a split decision?
Listen, every judge has a different angle, so
I say
never
unanimous,
know.
But
I say unanimous as well.
Wow, here we go.
But I would definitely like to see more from Cisco. If he fights like that, he would definitely hurt a lot more fighters.
Magnificent Matt got those scorecards. He is ready to give us the decision. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ringside judges have reached a split decision.
Oh, split decision.
The winner of this bout, by way of split decision, boxing out of the red corner, Malachi Thomas.
Well, no question about the
right man
decision.
won. The right man won.